Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here. We're going to be running the Blade Tower here. And of course, as well, we're going to take a different approach on it. I do apologize here. I did have some footage out yesterday, but I wasn't able to get the commentary side of things because, as you know, it's Friday and everyone's usually got plans on Fridays, and they keep pumping out these towers on the Fridays, which don't really work for my schedule, but it is kind of what it is. We have to kind of pivot. We have to adjust accordingly. And yeah, I did wish they kind of did it during the week, so then I can kind of do some of it during work time. But nonetheless, I digress, and it is what it is. Sometimes we just got to pivot, and it is what it is. But anyways, without further ado, let's quickly jump into the guide here. As you guys would have seen in the title, we are going to be going into the Blade Tower here. And of course, as well, I will be recycling some of the teams that I used yesterday, but also with one slight caveat change. And that is, I've had some time to kind of experiment with some other teams, and we are able to kind of get through the Blade Tower here, at least the first 6 floors, and finesse through it a little bit without the use of basically Xavier, without Blue Marvel, and of course as well without having a fully built Omen or Shadow Conclave team. Now I think that's going to be attractive to people because with right now with rare resources and gold and training materials are such a constant battle. Hopefully this can kind of give you guys a little bit of a minimum maximum sort of thing. And again, the characters that I use, there is still going to be some Shadow Conclave. There's still going to be a Omen character, but it just won't be the fully built up team. So you're not expected to build 4 or 5 characters to get through the first 6 set of floors here. So anyways, the first team you guys will see here, really the quarterback to this entire first dynamic is actually Kahori and basically SpiderMan. Hulk and Miss Marvel here will basically act as tanks. They'll absorb some damage, and it really doesn't matter what your levels are for Hulk. I think as long as he takes a hit and then he activates his passive. So mine's only 95, which is fine. He'll get the job done. Considering it's Omega, we can give him a little pat on the back for withstanding the hits there. Miss Marvel, mine's level 105, tier 19. I did build her up a little bit because we used to be into war in our alliance, and then we kind of dropped off a bit, so that's why she was built up, and hence why she is level 105, tier 19. So those are kind of the 2 tanks for our team. And then of course as well, like I said, we got our Wolverine here. He was one of the free best buddies during the anniversary event. G20 level 105. Our boy Spider-Man, absolute wrecking ball. I need to give this guy a level 110 love pretty soon here because he's one of my all-time faves, but he absolutely smashes. And then of course as well, Kahori is the MVP, and her speed on spawn is going to be able to bypass all the Wakandans, and it really shows just how good she is when there's no game modes like arena, raids, war. Her raw abilities itself is pretty amazing. I do must say so myself. So because we're able to use this team, we are able to actually save our Galactic for the other one. So if you guys would have seen my footage from yesterday, you'll know that I actually ran the Galactic plus Kahori and Miss Marvel. So this team will replace basically the second team here. So basically what that means here is I'm just gonna make it so it looks a little more obvious. Then we're going to be able to use this team later on. So Second Note, Fantastic for it. Unless your name is Matthew and you don't have Fantastic Four, sorry buddy, I'm going to keep poking fun at you here because I know you can take it. But yeah, Fantastic Four plus Minerva. So I mean, even though Minerva is one of the built up characters for the Omen team, you don't need to have her built up for this. The only purposes that she serves here is the fact that she can use her revive, which is the special, and she has the drain, which is going to drain basically 15% of your health. Basically the other side is health, right? So you don't need to have her level 85, level 100, or anything like that. You just need her to basically be there. She doesn't need to do anything else because the Fantastic Four basically do everything for you, and she's basically just a little extra cushion there. If you don't want to use Minerva here, you don't need to. With Emma Frost, she's level 105, tier 19. She's going to allow for the speed of the Fantastic Four to basically do their thing. And of course, because this is a previous meta arena team, you are a fool if you haven't built these guys up. So anyways, you know who I'm talking about. So anyways, yeah, so these guys will basically handle the second node here fairly easy. And now, because we've been able to save our Galactic Council from the node 1, now we can actually slot these guys in here with Ebony Maw and Lalandra. Again, trying to keep this team fairly respectful. Ebony Maw, he does not need to be built up here as well. Same case with Minerva. He is only here to serve one purpose, and that is to use his ult when he spawns. When he does that ult, he's going to slow and he's going to apply trauma, and it really doesn't matter if it hits them or not, because really all we want here is the rewind. He gives a little bit of a, what is it? The fill speed bar for self and allies, blah, blah, blah. Reduce speed bar for enemies by 5%. So really doesn't matter if it even hits them, but it's going to do a little rewind action, and mine's G19 because I do like Maul. And he goes really good with Thanos. Of course, Galactic Council, we had these guys built up for Blue Marvel. So, of course, 105 G20 all across the boards. Whoops. 105 G20s. And also their purple L5 as well. Because, like I said, we brought them up for the Blue Marvel Dark Dimension. And Lalandra, I mean, you got to have Lalandra for Professor Xavier. She's a must. So, I decided, hey, let's slot her in here, because I'm assuming most people will try to work to getting her unlocked and getting her geared and tiered as well. And actually, she doesn't really, she does her ult, but she's not really a big factor. The biggest factor here is probably Maul and the 3 Galactic members. And Maul, like I said, doesn't have to be too big here. So anyways, that is it. Last time we did use Shadow Conclave, so we're gonna axe these guys right out here. Again, I'm just gonna change this up so then it looks a little cleaner on my whatever, the screenshot, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it looks a little cleaner there. We used Shadow Conclave last time. And then again, same thing. We're going to rinse and repeat here. We're going to use our Symbiote 6. If you guys don't have these built up, it's fine. We don't have SpiderMan in there anymore because we already used them previously. But yeah, again, the 4-piece, 3-piece symbiote's fine. You can slot in with anybody else, literally anybody that can do some damage. But the symbiotes is basically going to just Bodos through that node. And then, of course, as well, the one with Jeff the Landshark, we try to incorporate characters that people would have already built up. So again, I think this is probably the only one where I kind of lie to you guys here. We do need to kind of have Silver Surfer Breaker here. I think a lot of people are most likely bringing him up here because he's part of that Age of Fear character. So he's probably the only one. And then Storm is really good as well. I did try several variations, but man, Surfer Breaker and Storm really do pack a punch at the start here because you want that on-spawn slow. And then, of course, as well, Eclipse, previous, you need her right now for the Surfer Breaker event. She's part of the battle world. Mine's only 4 stars, but she still packs a punch because she's level 110. So, I mean, if you don't have her geared up all the way to 7 yellow, 7 red, it's fine. We just need her to do the, to do her little heal and her silence, which really helps. And, of course, as well, Emma Frost is here to cancel out all the speed and as well give us an ability block as well. And she's got a rework coming, and you can vote for her as well. But for myself, I'm going to vote for my boy Bobby Drake. Bobby Drake. He needs a rework, and he needs it bad. So, come on, guys. Iceman for the win. So Emma Frost, Eclipse, Apocalypse, Storm, and then, of course, as well, our Surfer Breaker. So, in this entire guide, I guess, out of the members here, you basically just need him unlocked. So, if you are trying to push the first 6 floors, try to get this guy unlocked here so you can kind of work out. Storm, you may be able to get away with Storm if you have, like, Jeff, Sentry. My Jeff and my Sentry are both level 1. So, yeah, people have told me that if you have an opposing Sentry or Jeff, you're going to be able to smash it up pretty easy. So, if you don't have Storm, slot one of those characters in. Apocalypse is kind of the big factor here. And then finally, we run our stun combo with Rachel. She's, she's kind of... she's been clutching so many different tower situations. I can't say enough about her. Level 105, G19. Angel, G20, 105. We need the high stars on him to kind of keep the team alive. He's really, really handy here. And you don't necessarily need to have him, but I found that he really helped in the situation. Oath does her thing here. She does the on-spawn speed boost, fill speed bar by 5%. And, of course, as well, she's got that massive ability block. And, of course, as well, we got the stunners between Jubilee and Havok. So hopefully you guys can kind of see that here. And I think I hope I clicked on everybody. I don't know if I clicked on everybody. So you know what? We'll just kind of go from the top again here in case I might have missed something. But like I said, G20 Wolverine, Best Buddies. Then we've got G18 on the Hulk. And then we've got basically G19 on Miss Marvel and G19 on Kahori. Galactic is basically all G20 across. Oh wait, this is the filler one. Whoops, my bad. Oh, gotta go click on the other one here. Sorry. Yeah, G20's all across, and then G19 on Ebony Maw, level 105, and then of course as well Lalandra's G20 because we need her for Professor X, so that's fine. Fantastic Four was our previous arena meta, so again level 106, G20 all across the board. Emma Frost here is G19, level 105, and Minerva, she's 105 G20 because I really like her, but like I said, she's only serving one purpose, and that's to use her alt and her special, so don't need to worry about bringing her up. And then our symbiote, my Venom's still 95, level tier 18. Noah's tier 20, 105. I should bring him up to 110, actually. I'm seeing that he's the only one that's not 110 right now, and also my Venom, I guess. Yeah, and then same thing. We got Quicksilver from the last event, so hence why he's built up. Emma Frost, G20. We used her in Professor Xavier. G20 on Eclipse. G20 on Apocalypse. G20 on Storm, level 110 as well, because we used her on the Surfer Breaker. And, of course, as well, Surfer Breaker himself, because he's a boss. He's a boss in so many different spots. And then, of course, as well, we finish things off with a bunch of G19s at the end here, except for our Angel, because he's weak. I guess Oath is G20 as well. So, anyways, if you guys need to freeze it, hopefully helps. So apologies about all the running around here. But anyways, that is the roster check. Let's quickly jump into the gameplay so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so going in here, like I said, Hulk and Miss Marvel, just got to move them around here, but we're going to keep them on the outside, and then, yeah, they're going to be our big taunters, and yeah, I don't know if I'll do the full commentary for all the entire gameplay footage, but I'll do the bit of it so you guys can kind of see how the battle flows, and then, yeah, like I said, I think for the most part, at least, there's not too many enemies on these nodes, and it is very straightforward. I think once you kind of you may have to try some RNG side of things, but like I said, Kahori, she's going to be faster than every single character, so then she takes 2 turns because of her on spawn passive that gives her 200% of the speed bar. Hulk takes a little bit of a beating for us, and unfortunately he dies, and then yeah, you guys can kind of see here that yeah, unfortunately Miss Marvel holds the fort down as well, but she also dies, and that's it. That's all we need. We just need a couple of blows here to give our team a little bit of a strategic advantage. SpiderMan, he's going to be able to go ahead and just strip things down for us and make it easier. So I targeted the top maybe, just so we can kind of get a couple of the stragglers there. And then, yeah, Kahori is just going to rip everything down to bits here. And like I said, having this combo here works really well because kind of reminds me of, yeah, the old days, you know, with Wolverine and SpiderMan working together in the comics and stuff. So that's pretty cool here. I think I'm trying to play homage to that as well. So anyways, for the stun, you can just throw that on anybody. I kind of looked around near a speed bar and I thought, you know what, let's throw it on, you know, let's throw it on her. And then, yeah, again, Wolverine's going to use his alt, and then he's going to probably kill off another one. So then boom, and then, yeah, and then as you guys see here, may just require a little bit of luck as well with the dodge chance from Spider-Man, but yeah, he's absolutely amazing. And hopefully, yeah, hopefully, like you said, you guys can kind of see here that this team is just absolutely broken. Spider-Man is just, wow, this is the best rework I've ever seen on a character. Like, I just love how he feels like he's supposed to be Spider-Man, and he's just amazing. He just blows me away every time I use him. So anyways, that's my 2 cents here. Hopefully you guys can see that. And yeah, and like I said, for the most part, once you kind of get through the initial barrages of attacks, Spider-Man just absolutely shreds, and loving his animations and his little kit changes as well here. So hopefully you guys are able to get some value out of that and kick some butt here. Man, I sure love this. I sure love this blade info graphic, you know, the graphic. It's pretty sweet. So anyways, so we get our first turn here. Magneto's gonna go first because he's the fastest character. Blah blah blah. It's fine. Franklin's gonna go first after, and his ult basically bypasses blind because it's unavoidable. And then we're gonna apply the amazing silence on the board here, which is gonna help keep us alive. And as you can see here, my Minerva took a little bit of a hit, but it's all good. Make sure you're not using your Invisible Woman's ult as well, because we're gonna miss, right? Everyone's blinded, so you gotta make sure you do not do not fall for that. And then, like I said, they're gonna do a couple hits here, and Minerva, like I said, she's got the revive once as well. So like I said, she's really in a good locked position here. So we're gonna get to Mr. Fantastic. You can throw the stun on there on the Emma Frost, so that way we can kind of keep our team in check here, so she doesn't cleanse things and slow our team as well. And like I said, Minerva is really good here because she's going to be able to slow, and she's going to be able to do lots of damage, even though she's weak. So if you don't have her built up here, we're strictly sticking with the fact that she's going to be able to just allow us to, use that percentage-based damage. And of course, as well, if somehow Mr. Fantastic does drop, her speed bar is going to fill, and she can also revive. So in this case here, you guys are going to see that we don't really need her to revive because she's so good. She's so strong. And like I said, you don't need to build her up too much if you are not looking to build up Omen or the Shadow Conclave just yet. But yeah, hopefully you guys are able to see that. And other than that, I think that's all the commentary I have for this one here. And it's fairly straightforward. Invisible Woman's going to all special, and Mr. Fantastic is going to alt. And then, yeah, you kind of get it. It's basically, it's a very one-sided battle. Okay, so last time we did use Shadow Conclave, but in this case here, we aren't going to use them. We're going to use our Lalandra Galactic Council with Maul. And again, you don't need Maul to be, geared and tiered. The only purpose he has here is he's going to be able to use that rewind at the start. So again, even if Gore does his thing here, Maul should live because, he has a death proof. And also, I believe because of all the buffs we get from the Galactic Council as well, he should be pretty good shape here. So again, we just do a couple of hits here for the basics, so that way we can kind of get some blast bombs, or bomb bursts, excuse me. And then, like I said, Maul's gonna take his turn here after, and you also wanna, if you can, right, throw the specials or the basics so you can get the blast bombs or bomb bursts, excuse me, to charge up. So again, right here, Maul's gonna do his thing here, and that's it. That's all you need him for. You just gotta use him to use his ult, and he's home free. He doesn't have to do anything else for the remainder of this battle because the other guys should be able to get it done here. So Lalandra's gonna use her ult. She's gonna just create some havoc here for us as well. And like I said, I'm trying to use characters that people would most likely have invested in, so it makes a lot more sense. And like I said, I'm not trying to use Xavier or Blue Marvel here because that just makes it a little too easy. But yes, these are difficult nodes, and of course as well, the Galactic Council here does shine quite well because of the fact that we built these guys up here. So again, we get some blast bombs. Blastar's gonna do his thing here. I'm thinking now if I would have used Gladiator's basic instead of his special, he would have had a full 5 charges. So that was actually kind of bad on my part. So anyways, this could have been played better, but just wanted to show you guys, even with sloppy play here. Okay, never mind. I guess Maul does is special, I guess. But yeah, hopefully you guys are able to see that here. You don't need to build him up. You just need that rewind at the start, and then you should be able to handle the section here fairly straightforward and fairly easy as well. So hopefully that makes sense. And in case you guys are curious, this is when I ran the full Shadow Conclave team. If you guys are kind of curious how it goes, and I mean, yeah, like I said, Maul is also a key a point here as well. Even if you have a full built up Shadow Conclave, they do make some pretty good damage here because of the fact that you know, Ebony here really does the work here, right? The trauma, applying all these negatives. Yeah, that's all I really want to say. It is a very straightforward node, obviously, if you have Shadow Conclave, because then you don't have to use your Galactic Council, and you might be able to save Galactic Council for a different section. But hopefully it makes sense, and hopefully you guys are you know, able to get through it as well here. But yeah, I left this footage up here because I thought it was nice to see that it is, you know, even though this is a newly built team, I thought the Galactic Council team did a better job. I feel like it was cleaner with the Galactic Council, but hey, that's just me. And also, the Galactic Council on my team here has less G20s. The G20s on my Blastar and Quasar and Blastar were also a bit higher as well. So I guess never mind. I guess they don't do too bad of a job here. I shouldn't be smack talking them here. So anyways, yeah. Okay, so last time we did use Spider-Man. So obviously for this one, I mean, whoever you have here, you can slot in here who's weak, or if you have another character you want to use. But like I said, it really doesn't matter who you use. I think for this one, let's just put Obsidian in here. He's weak, whatever, who cares? The Symbiote 6 is basically just going to quarterback it, so it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who you use, because the only thing that matters here is activating Null Special. This is going to get things going for us, just to kind of get Carnage on the board. And then, of course, as well, Quicksilver is going to do his thing and just strip all the revive once. And then once he does that damage to the team here, yeah, it really is just a completely different battle here. Like I said, it's just, yeah, it's absolutely just a, you know, I should check my SO8s as well, actually. I don't know if these ones are the right ones here. But yeah, like I said, once things get going here, it really does become very, very impossible to stop here. We're just gonna aim for Blade, actually. Let's do aim for Blade so we can get some bleeds. And then like I said, we can you know, we can start getting some stuff here. Let's see, kill him off. Yeah, so I don't even know if, oh, I guess it's still a very decently good team here. But like I said, I'm getting mixed up with Ebony now. Obsidian, I think, is good because he also tops his health off as well. So even though if he's weakling, at least he's kind of stays on the board, and he's still something for them to target, I guess, if they target him. They're not even targeting him right now. Let's throw the spread here. And like I said, it literally is just, it's literally just I'm just gonna hit auto here because I think you guys get it. It's very, very straightforward. Also, I'd focus on Dormammu so he doesn't use his ult, because if he uses his ult, it can strip our positives, right? So I would say, if you can, try to focus on, okay, yeah, Black Knight taunted there, we didn't like that. But yeah, hopefully you guys are I guess because I have auto on, we should be okay. Like I said, the Symbiote 6 basically they just tear this one apart, honestly. This one was literally built for the Symbiote 6, so I think just because of the revive once and stuff, you definitely for sure want to use this team here. If you don't want to use this team, I'm sure you could probably use Galactic Council as well here. But yeah, obviously it depends on your, actually Fantastic Four will work really well on this one as well because they're really fast. But like I said already, it really does not matter who that fourth member is. We had Spider-Man last time. I'll attach the gameplay footage as well, but I won't do any commentary. You guys can have a look at it. Like I said, I had it already previously in another video, but I'll speed it up so you guys don't have to watch the whole thing if you do want to go through it. But like I said, it's fairly straightforward, and hopefully you guys are able to see that here. Yeah, so once you, yeah, just like I said, Null's just gonna just get the heals back. He should die. That Dormammu is really beefy, actually. Holy crackers. Holy crackers. He is really beefy. I thought for sure he was going to drop. Wow. Okay, he is one beefy dude. So maybe if you don't use Symbiote 6, maybe this is actually a really difficult node. I don't know, because I've used my Symbiote 6. And again, guys, it's the same thing with Fantastic Four. We built Fantastic Four because they were arena meta, unless, like I said, unless you're named Matthew and you avoided them. But no, there's a few other people that you know, didn't really want to build them, and then they eventually did, right? But I mean, this is one team you do not want to skip out on, because right now, especially right now with some of the stuff that's going on with the arena, they said they might be adding some rumble orbs or rumble, you know, bio gear, whatever. We'll have to see what it looks like next week, but it is obviously interesting to see what they'll do with that. And yeah, the Symbiote 6 is very good in Cosmic Crucible, and they're also very good in War, so you don't want to miss out here. So that's 4. Okay, so yeah, the next one here, this one I thought was really fun to play with. Again, Surfer Breaker is here because you'll see here that he actually comes in clutch here with the ability block. The reason why we have him here and it's so important is because of the fact that there's going to be a coin flip between his turn and Jeff's turn. And if Surfer Breaker does go before him, which is fine, it's fine. It's no big deal. It's not the end of the world. He's going to top people's health off. And then, yeah, Apocalypse is going to punch. Just punch Jeff with it. Apocalypse should be able to cancel out the speed from Emma Frost as well, which is why we use him here. And then from that point on, you can just use Surfer Breaker's special. Basically, it's going to cause the ability block. It's going to cause the you know, the anomalies and stuff like that. And yeah, like I said, Eclipse here is also nice because she gives off a health and refreshes us back to you know, to the team here. So other than that, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that doesn't need to say about it. It's pretty plain Jane. So I'm going to speed up the footage and I'm going to skip on to the next section. Okay, last and final section. This one I had a lot of fun playing around because I didn't want to reset the floors, and I also didn't want to use my Xavier just because I could. Now, I thought it was really cool because, again, we can throw the stun here from Havok. And again, if you guys recall, Rachel's spread can bypass the immunities. So I thought, you know what, this is a great time to use that, because we've done this previously in some of the other game modes, and I thought, you know what, this is great. Look at the way Daredevil and Silver Sable are locked in, loaded right on the corner there. So this is great. So now we've actually got some nice control here. Jubilee also has a stun as well, so we're going to take advantage of that and use it to apply the slow as well to the team. And then, like I said, once you kind of control these characters, the ones that are problematic, Silver Sable, Daredevil, and Punisher, it does really make it a little easier. We weren't able to get to Hitmonkey, which is fine. He's kind of in his own little corner, so that's fine. It is kind of what it is here. And don't forget, yeah, with Jubilee, you can also use her special here just to kind of get a cluster of attacks here. I always find it's nice because then you get, you know, ability and defense downs and slows and whatever, depending on who hits, right? So again, stripping positives when we can here to make at least make Hitmonkey a little bit more vulnerable, so he's not doing damage to us. Because yeah, these guys are pretty beefy, and unfortunately for us, our Oath, yeah, she does die right after, I think, after this one here. But yeah, it's nice that she's able to do so much damage here, even in the interim. And again, like I said, we throw this special there to kind of spread the stun, but of course Silver Sable just kind of dies. And then yeah, and then unfortunately our Angel is ability blocked, but it would have been nice if he could use a special so he can kind of heal the team off, get some death proof as well. But yeah, he's good here. Even though he's only 3 yellow, he's I find that he's so tanky, right? And this is why we used him here. And obviously you can see here that he does make quite a difference, because like I said, when he does get to that turn and he uses the death proof, he really makes the team a lot tankier, right? So hopefully you guys can see that. And then like I said, Daredevil hasn't done a single thing because he's been stunned the whole time, so that's great. Now we can start kind of focusing on some of the other stragglers, get some of these guys down as well. And that's kind of it, guys. That's kind of it. Hopefully you guys can see that here. I thought it was really fun to play with a team that doesn't really have any, you know, it's good to theory craft, right? I always like the stun spreading teams, because Rachel, oh man, I just want a team where we can get Polaris to pull everybody in, Havok stuns, and then Rachel just spreads everything, right? That's like ideal, but I don't know how we can make Polaris go before her. I mean, it just, the theory crafting excites me, but unfortunately, yeah, like I said, it kind of sucks we can't do that, but it is what it is. The Immortal X-Men would be so amazing if they could do that. Pull everybody in with Polaris and then just boom, stun. Five or six characters stunned just like that, right? So, you know, it's fun. I like doing stuff like that, and I like the theory crafting. So we'll see what next week brings here. But hopefully you guys are able to see it here as well. And I'll run the teams again here at the end so you guys can kind of see it. But like I said, it was a fairly, I would say, a fairly reasonable first 6 set of floors. And again, if you guys want to minimally invest in the Omen, minimally invest in Shadow Conclave, then this is hopefully beneficial for you guys. And again, every person's account's different. Every person's got different resources. So obviously, even if the teams that I have don't work for you guys, apologies there. But hopefully you guys are able to incorporate some of the team compositions into your strategy and your planning. And maybe you'll find something that works out even better than my strategies, right? This is just what works for me. And of course, as well, like I said, I did have to trial and error a few different teams, but I enjoyed it for the most part. It was very fun to play. And I will definitely for sure maybe do some more experimenting with some teams. It's good. We're getting a little bit of early practice here. I'm going to have a look at the next set of floors as well here, and maybe we can start thinking about next week as well, because yeah, like I said, I really like solving these kinds of puzzles, and it's always fun to try to do it, you know, obviously without relying on your all your powerful host teams, right? Obviously Fantastic Four is Fantastic Four, same with Symbiote 6, but I'm sure there's going to be some other creative people coming out with different strategies that are probably better than mine, and I always get amped to see that. So that's pretty cool to see when people come up with some pretty wicked strategies that you were like, oh wow, you didn't even think about that, right? Like anyways, yeah, it's always fun, guys. It's always fun, and lately it has been quite entertaining with Marvel Strike Force. So enjoying the towers so far, and enjoying obviously the content that's been coming out. But other than that, let's quickly jump back into the roster here so you guys can see the teams that I used, and hopefully you guys are able to make the most out of this video as well. All right, so just recapping it all again, like I said, Absolute plus the Amazing Avengers and Wolverine. Then we use Fantastic Four plus Minerva. Again, Minerva's just key here for the heals. And then, of course, as well, we stuck with our Galactic plus Ebony Maw. Again, Ebony Maw doesn't have to be built up. You just need him for his ultimate. And then we got the Symbiote 6 here. You can slot in whoever. I threw in something random, right? And then we used our Eclipse, Apocalypse, Storm combo. Storm was important there for the slow. And then, of course, as well, Apocalypse punching Jeff was pretty funny to see. And finally, we finished things off with our stun combo of Rachel, Jubilee, and just mass amount of crowd control. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that team. Out of all the teams, I think that was the one I think I had the funnest with, just because we could control the entire board with the stuns. But other than that, guys, hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you guys were able to get some value out of this video as well. Please share and spread the word to your alliance mates if they need help with this. Obviously, I want to help you guys as much as we can here and get as much out of the event as possible. Other than that, always appreciate you guys tuning in. Always appreciate you guys' time. I'll see you guys in the next one.